What I say, we're not going to focus here? Hey, so good morning. Just reading something, and most people would just pass this by and just think, oh, okay. They wouldn't get much out of it if they don't really study. So when you read the Bible, don't just read it to read it. Read it to understand, to get something out of it, to study it, to not rush through it, to really dig deep. For example, this morning I read something that was very innocuous, very just point of history kind of information, but you got to stop and think. There's a whole lot of information here that we're just overlooking. So there's information like there's actual people like Caesar Augustus, Quirinius, from Syria, the governor of Syria. So there's information in here, and people always say, well, not people, I won't say people, because I'll say people who call themselves atheists, who are really just anti-theists, or I should say Christophobes, because they are against Christ. They have an unnatural fear of Christ, or unreasonable fear. Let me put it that way, an unreasonable fear. They say, oh, the Bible's just a book of fairy tales. I'm sorry, but have you read a fairy tale that has this much detail and just this much of a passage? This is just one of many passages. Luke's very detail-oriented. No. This is a history book right here. Luke is very much a historian. If you think that the Bible is just a bunch of fairy tales, you have never read the Bible. You have never looked into it. It's not just a bunch of thou shalt not, thou shalt not. That's what a lot of people thought. When I was a kid, I thought it was just a book about how to behave or something. I didn't know much about it. I was an actual atheist. I was not an anti-theist. I didn't go around trying to... we didn't have YouTube or anything back then. I didn't go around trying to find people who believed it and then try to, disclaim their beliefs and make them feel like they're idiots. So when you look at all these small details that are historical facts and say, oh, there was never a Jesus, there was never a Christ, there was never any of this stuff, you're denying history, and you're denying something so obvious. And then the atheists that go, try to prove Christ without the Bible. Well, that's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. There are definite accounts outside the Bible about Christ. There's books today about Christ. I mean, seriously. But the Bible is full of history, and you're sitting there saying, try to deny Jesus without the Bible. So, okay, we can do that, but why? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, try to prove Darwinism without the book of, written by Darwin. Okay. They can't prove it either way, so it doesn't matter. But hey, when you're sitting there reading these things, don't just overlook them. This is detailed facts, and it may seem boring to us because we believe, and we're like, yeah, I know. But think about that. Just think about how much detail that we got in the Bible that God put in there so that we can have that sound assurance. When you start to have a waning faith, get your Bible out and start reading it. Even this part right here, which seems like, it's innocuous, it's full of information that makes you think, hey, God took care to make this much detail. If I could trust him on, if he can do this, I could trust him. Back in the Chronicles and stuff, it gives the he begat, she begat, and all that stuff. It seems boring. But just imagine all that detail and why it was there. So I'm just wanting to pass that information on to you, that no matter how dry it may seem, like I don't see any really cool healings here. I don't see, Jesus whipping up the people in the temple. That's the Indiana Jones part of the Bible I like. Hey, wow, people up early this morning. But this is the part that also can give you as much faith as any other part of the Bible. So I encourage you today to read your Bible, and even if you think it's boring and dry at places, those are the places that will encourage you the most, I hope. Have a fantastic, it's Catter Day. Have a super Catter Day. Yeah. Bye.